Greetings, this is Tyra Olafemi, your goddess guru, here to share a word of inspiration to assist you on your way to self-realization and self-mastery in the calendar year 2014. So this is part 2 of our Goddess Body, Mind, and Spirit community Divination. And the first energy that spoke was Sekart, and again, we have a challenging year. Things may be a little bit slow in coming, and we may find that, we are dealing with losing some stuff that maybe we're a little attached to, but we will eventually see it's better for us to let go of something when it's no longer in season for us. And that we have to tap the power within us through words of power. And we need to intuit our plans. We must operate according to a plan in 2014, but we don't want the wrong plan. So we need to meditate to intuit this plan, as this is a very spiritual year for us. So what does Ma'at say? Well, Ma'at, the first card, whenever I pull the first card, if there's two, the first card tells us what the reading is, and the second card tells us what to do. And so in order for us to overcome some of the challenges that I talked about with Sekart, we have to know and live truth. Okay, so what is truth? It's not necessarily fact. It's different from fact. Even though sometimes the truth is this is what happened, facts are not necessarily truth. Truth is divine, it's universal, it's ever-present. You can't change it. It doesn't change based on circumstances. Nothing. Truth is just truth. Let's talk about gravity. Who can get away from gravity? Okay. If we're on the earth, which is governed and ruled by gravity, you jump off a building, you're gonna be brought down by gravity. You have to think of it like that. And the first thing we have to do whenever we're talking about truth is we have to do an independent investigation to determine what is truth. I tell everyone when Ma'at speaks, you're being called to be a spiritual scientist. Okay? So don't believe what anyone tells you. Test it. Do an independent investigation. Test it. Is it true every time? Okay? Truth is going to apply in every situation. It does not matter who or what, where, why, nothing. Truth is always truth, and it will work in every instance. And so this is a year for us to understand, especially when we're talking about tapping the power within. The foundation of that is knowing truth. Okay, so what my eye says is it's not a belief. Okay, it's not something that you think. When we're talking truth, it's what you know. It's what you know. And to me, when I think about all of this, there's this trust thing that comes in. And it's once you know truth, you trust it. I'll say it that way. Once you know, you trust. You do it no matter what. You don't question nothing. You just do it because you know it is going to work. Okay? Guess what? We're scientists. We have to give it a try. We have to try it out. And maybe sometimes we'll think, I don't know if that worked. Ouch. But that's okay. If you never give it a try, if you never test, if you never do an investigation and test what you're finding, you'll never know really what is truth and what is not truth. Okay? So this is a year to know and live truth. When Ma'at speaks, we're called to have faith. That's one of the keys to self-mastery that I talked about in 2013. Faith. You've got to have faith. And again, faith is, sometimes when we hear about faith, it's, this is my faith in terms of like my religion. And that is good because, and that's how a lot of people use faith. I'm not speaking about faith so much in such a narrow term, even though I think it is the same. Faith is knowingness. Faith is knowingness. There is no belief when you have faith. When you have faith, you know. Okay? You don't waver. You don't question. Nothing. Here's faith. If I say to you, I want you to look at me in my eyes right now, or listen to what I say. None of you who can see will question whether or not you're able to look at me in my eyes, or none of you who can hear will question whether or not you're going to be able to hear me. You just know you're going to do it. Why? Because you've done it before. That's faith. If I say, get up and walk over to the elevator, and who's quite, I don't know. I mean, if we are up, living, walking, if I say breathe, just all these basic things, we all have faith. The question is, what do you have faith in? And I encourage you in 2014, have faith in the truth. Have faith in divine law. I'm not going to define what that is. It is your job to figure it out. Study to show thyself approved. Study, study, study. I don't limit myself on what I study. The more I study controversial stuff, the more I feel like I know and I understand. Okay? Study to show yourself approved. If you're the type that's like, I got one book and that is all I'm studying, you're going to find truth in that book. Okay? Study to show thyself approved and have faith in the truth. Live it. Live it, breathe it, walk it. That is faith. No. It's K-N-O-W. It is not believe. It's know. And when you know something, you just do it. That's what we're called to have in 2014, to have faith. Most of us don't understand that the number one relationship that we need to have is with self. Not just this, but that expanded, transcendent part of ourselves that I talked about in the self-realization video. There's a part of ourselves that is not limited to the experience of the physical body and consciousness. It transcends it. As a matter of fact, everything is within that part of ourselves. I know I sound heebie-jeebie and everything, but I'm just telling you it is. But anyway, there's this expanded part of ourselves, the Holy Spirit, Ganesha, the great almighty divine. I don't know exactly how everybody defines it, but the Ori is what I call mine. It's out of Ifa, the tradition out of the Yoruba people in Africa, Ifa. And so I call that part of myself my Ori, the higher self. That's a good way to describe it. And that part of ourselves is the part that we really need to be understanding and knowing. Because most of us don't have any faith in ourselves because we don't know that part of ourselves. We mostly know this limited part, and it lets us down at times. But when we know the truth of who and what we are and the power that lies within us, then we can have faith in it. We can have faith in ourselves. That's how you develop faith in self, is to understand your divine nature. That part of you, I heard someone once call it the divine deposit from the great Almighty that is within us. We have to learn who and what we are. We have to have faith. Well, once we know that part of ourselves and we know how powerful it is, we have complete and utter faith. Once you know that part of yourself, it will become your source and your supply. You will put your faith in it because you will understand higher divine law and truth. And it says everything comes from the unseen. If you want something, you don't necessarily go get it. You create it from the inside out. And that is what makes us powerful. You create what you want from the inside out. But the problem is most people don't create in a conscious manner. We sort of watch TV and we look at other people, or maybe we have a whole lot of fear within us, and our fear doesn't even allow us to dream beyond a certain point. As a matter of fact, our fear would create more fear on top of fear. And so we create a world that's fearful. And so, we get stuck up in this rut where nothing is going our way. But what we have to learn is we create from the inside out. And what you need, I am telling you, I know this for my own self, what you need, it comes from the inside out. Take time to learn and understand more about true abundance and what our true source and supply is. And what I look at when I look at people who are in religions is they know the truth too. They know the truth. This is a year for everyone to figure out what their spiritual path is and to follow it. There are many paths, though there is one truth. It's many paths. And so whatever your path is, get on that path and it's going to work for you. Okay? Don't worry about what anyone thinks about you. You live your truth on your path because that is what you came here to do. And you are needed to do it in that way because somebody needs you to do it in that way to help them. It's so good to do good. That this is a year for doing good. Doing good is going to help you tap into the power within you. When you feel down, do good. This is a year to have compassion for a lot of people. Have a lot of compassion. The other thing that we have to do this year in order to tap the power within is to remove the layer of unforgiveness. If you have unforgiveness in you, release it. It's a block. Let go of unforgiveness. So you're to work on your your liver. A lot of us, we have liver issues because we don't forgive. I feel unforgiveness a lot of times in my back and, like in my colon area. And some people feel in their livers. Detox this year. We need to do lots of detoxification. But it is, I can't emphasize the importance of forgiveness and letting go and holding on to unforgiveness. Really, it'll lead you to sickness. It does you no good. It will not protect you. Okay, let me explain to you what protects you. Understanding divine law and truth. When we have experienced hurt and pain in our life, we have to ask ourselves, why was this created? What lesson is this in for me? See, when my aunt speaks, you have to look at the big picture. There are series, and within the series, there are episodes. And we can't let an episode dictate the entire series, okay? We may have a theme that goes on, but the one episode does not dictate the entire theme, okay? So what my eye says is you have to look at the big picture. You have to give thanks for those that you love and make you feel good. And you have to give thanks for those who you don't like so much, who you really are like, I don't like you so much. Because both are assisting you on your path to growing and developing and transcending the limited understanding that you have of yourself. So a lot of times I talk about radical forgiveness. And what radical forgiveness helped me to understand is that my higher self will say, you know what? Oya has been telling Tyra Olafemi, look, girl, you need to let go of whatever. And Tyra Olafemi is acting like she is totally clueless and doesn't hear that she needs to let go of something. Or that, it could be an attitude or it could be an activity or something like that. And so I'm gonna make it so that she really has no choice but to let this thing go. And so maybe another person is used to come into my life, and the way I would describe this person is, I don't like this person. This person is so mean. They did this to me or they did that to me. And poor pitiful me, because this person just did me so wrong. And then after a while, I'll start thinking, wait a minute. I'm so grateful for this person because this person helped me to realize I have a sucky attitude. I have stinking thinking. That's the only way I would allow myself to get caught up in this situation or with, just whatever happens. And so that's something that we have to remember, is that sometimes some of the people that show up, they're showing up because we need them to show up the way they show up to us to help us get unstuck from where we are. So it's no need to be mad at them and pissed off and all that kind of stuff. We can say thank you because you helped us. That's what my eye says. Give thanks to the people that make us feel warm and fuzzy, and the ones that make us feel just warm. It's a big picture. See the big picture. Don't missing the forest for the trees. Details are important, but right now you need to see that big picture. Have a vision for your life in 2014, and don't deviate from the vision. Have a vision. Don't be too detail oriented, though we do need the details, the plan, to get to where we want to go. But sometimes a vision is different from a goal. It's sort of like there's the vision and then there's goals that get us to the vision. You know what I mean? A vision is something that's really, really broad. Oh man, and like I said, it's such a this is going to be a do-gooder year. And that's what our vision has to do with doing good. You want to have good character this year. You want to have good moral character. And it may be that you're able to see where your character needs to improve, maybe in the area of integrity. We need to have more integrity in our lives, in the world. We need to say what we mean what we say. We say we're going to do something, we should do it. I remember having issues like this, and I still have to check myself some days because I don't all the time say what I mean. And sometimes I say I'll do it and then I don't do it. I mean, that's like horrible. Don't say you're going to do it if you're not sure. You just say, I don't know. You have to develop ways of saying, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not, instead of saying I'm going to do it, you know. But we need to have good moral character this year. Live truth. Tell the truth, okay? Just say the truth. Say it. Have faith. And all of this, if we do all of this, it will help us to have, things won't be delayed. Our mind won't be so messed up and mushy minded. We won't be overthinking when we operate according to divine law. Also, 2014, we could have a lot of luck this year. I believe in luck, baby. I do. I'm going to be honest with you. Like you heard me say, believe. Just do. Maybe it's the little kid in me that I just can believe that things can just work in my favor. Just luck. If you need some luck this year, baby, call on my aunt. All right? But look, don't call on my aunt if you know that you really are not acting right, okay? If you have obstacles, this is a energy that can assist you with overcoming obstacles. Again, this is the energy of my aunt. This is a year of expansion. Now, we don't want to expand too much on our way. Sometimes when my eyes speak, you might find yourself getting a little bit fat in the midsection. This is a year to expand your knowledge, maybe in a particular area that you're interested in, maybe about yourself. Expand yourself beyond just what you know. Let's see here, what else? Thought I smelled smoke. That's why I look crazy like I did. Okay. I believe that's all that I have for now with my aunt. It's 2014 is set to be a good year if you make it a good year, which is every year. We're in the season of winter as I do this reading. So this is really not a time to start working on New Year's resolutions. I think it's good to come up with the resolutions and tweak them over the winter time and then start running after them in the spring. This is more of a time of introspection, renewing the spirit, being quiet, appreciating being wrapped in the veil of darkness, going back into the womb to rebirth ourselves. However we want to rebirth ourselves. We don't have to stay the same forever. We can wake up and be a new creature every day if we want. Okay? No limits. In 2014, tap the power within you Have faith and love yourself beyond measure. This is Tyrola Famey, hoping that this reading will assist you in a way that helps you to realize dreams beyond your wildest imagination. Let me know how 2014 is going for you, and you will hear from me more this year. I'm back. Thank you, peace, and Goddess blessings be upon you and yours.